We're here with Jeremiah Jones and Mr. Ed Jones. Jeremiah Jones is a 13-year-old young entrepreneur, and we're inside of his store, JYoungin. And since we are here, please tell me, how did this all get started? How did we get here?
Well, I started my brand back when I was 8 years old, and I basically came up with the concept because I wanted to be different than most kids my age. I wanted to offer something cooler and unique than most brands out there. So I came up with the name JYoungin. J because the J stands for Jeremiah, and Youngin because I'm still young and my grandma used to call me that. And my brand focuses on academic, sports, and having great character.
Okay, cool. And you told me a little bit about backstory about how Jeremiah came to you and let you know that he was interested in having a clothing line or having shirts. So how did that?
Well, I was doing music at the time, and he would see the artists' apparel that we give away, free T-shirts and sell our merch at the shows and things like that. He was always a part of me going to the studio, and he lived a life just like I did, but he was just pretty much a baby, And as he got older, he started seeing that some shows we would do the shows for free because we knew we was gonna make money selling the T-shirts, and he just came like one day like, "Hey Dad, put my name on the shirt," and I was like, "Yeah, no, not yet." And he stayed on me, and then he developed a persistence that was kind of, how can you ignore this? Like, he's really been persistent. He's really been like demanding now. So he told me that the kids at school called him a liar and they didn't believe him. And I was like, "Yo, what do you care?" He's like, "Well, I do care because I have a company, and they're saying I don't have a company."
Oh, so that's what they didn't believe.
They didn't believe he had his own brand. And I said, "Well, let's talk about it." So we went and sat and talked about it, both spoke on it, and he actually took me to
Starbucks.
He took me to Starbucks. He had a hot chocolate, and he got me a caramel frappe or something like that, and he paid for it. And then he opened up his notebook, and he had a bunch of little designs that made a lot of sense once I saw it, and that's where we began. After I seen it, I was blown away. I was like, "Yo, what is this? Like, what is this? What is it? What, a basketball player, a football player?" He had a bunch of positive sayings and stuff like that. So we didn't really dive head in, but we kind of dove head in.
Okay. And Jeremiah, where did that come from? The ideas that you put into your design?
Just seeing different things in my environment, just being different as a kid. I just always wanted to draw and do stuff like that. So I would just take my notebook and write things, draw things and stuff like that. So I took it to my father one day and told him about my company that I so-called had, but he didn't care to listen at the time. So then I went right back to him. I took him to Starbucks, like, "Dad, this is the plan that I have. This is where I want to go in life, and I think business is my thing," because my dad put me in guitar lessons, dance lessons that I didn't really stay with. So,
Right. Also, you had things that you would do and you wouldn't stick with it, but when it came to your doing a clothing line and business, you were focused.
Right.
Which brings me to how you have the motto: motivation, focus, determination. So is that a reflection of just, like, where did you get that from?
motivation, focus, determination. I believe those are like the three main keys that you would need in life to achieve any goal.
Okay.
Motivation, because you have to be motivated to what you want to do.
Right.
And focus, because if you're not focused, then you might be lost.
Mm-hmm.
And determined, if you're not predetermined on what you want to do, then you're not going to know what you want to do in life.
Ooh, that boy good.
Where did this
boy good. Watch out now.
Now, do you take the credit for that?
You know what? A little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit. I guess after him seeing and just learning on his own and just developing his own mindset. Like, if it was already in him, it was already in him.
Right.
Like, it just happened to be that I was in business for myself.
Right.
But I was in music, and then after music, I was a painter. I had no idea of having a clothing brand and seeing people like Colin Kaepernick wear it.
Right.
A bunch of kids around the city. People call me like, "Hey, man, I'm in such and such and such city. I think I just saw somebody wearing a JYoungin shirt." And it's exciting, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, back to the question, I have to give God the credit.
Right.
Because if I don't give God the credit, then all this whole beautiful scenery and all the growth, it could just shut down like that.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And speaking of, it's Colin Kaepernick, right?
Yes.
How did he end up getting your JYoungin vest? And tell me that backstory.
Well, Colin Kaepernick, I've always been a big fan of him, and me and my grandfather, we always go back and forth with who's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
And I found out that he had a birthday in November just like me, so I wanted to send him a birthday gift. And I sent it to him, but I didn't know if he received it.
Right.
So I kind of laid back, but about 2 months later, he surprised me on national television wearing my brand.
Wow, that had to be really cool, right?
Yes, it was fun.
So have you had any more contact with him since then?
Yes, he actually tweeted me and said, congratulations and keep up the great works.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, he started following him on Twitter and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And, Jeremiah, Colin Kaepernick has a
Football camp.
it's like I think it's a golf camp or something.
Yeah.
It's some type of
It's
camp
for kids that have heart disease.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Jeremiah wants to be a part of that. He wants to attend it. If we can't attend it because we're getting ready to go to the TED conference and speak. He's going to speak. So to save a little bit of money as far as travel and all that, we want to donate some of our supplies and T-shirts to the kids that attend Colin Kaepernick's. I think it's called Camp Taylor.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And tell me about the TED conference. How
Okay,
did that
well,
come about?
The TED conference actually came about when I hit the front page of Yahoo. And the lady that emailed us, she actually went to college with Colin Kaepernick.
Mm.
So she thought it would be a good idea for me to speak there. And TED conference is basically where they have people who made a major impact on the world. Like Richard Branson, Donald Trump spoke there. And it really means an honor for me to go speak there this year, June 6th.
Are you like one of the youngest to do it?
The youngest.
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Wow, that's so cool.
With this event.
With this,
Yes, with
Yeah, most of the guest speakers are like adults.
Mhm.
I think the youngest one is
High school, maybe.
but he's the youngest of this event.
Wow.
Just 13 years old.
That is so cool. That's really cool. How do you feel being his father and seeing his dreams come true? Like, how does that feel to you?
It feels. Sometimes it feels unreal, and I'm not saying that like, oh, we're just this big company now, but that's where we're growing. But it feels like a dream come true to see his dream come true. Like a lot of people, they live through their kids.
Right, right.
You know, is it vicariously? Some of that.
Yes,
Yeah, we live through our kids, and for my son to be into the same things that I'm into, as far as like being creative, designing, being an entrepreneur, helping people, you know, being a positive role model or influence on someone else. Like yesterday, just prime example, a guy came in here maybe like a month and a half ago, and he bought a motivation, focus, determination hoodie. And he's like, man, I can't believe what have I been doing my whole life? What have I been doing in my life? Like 25 years old, he's like bashing himself, right? And he says that I got to get it together. Remember the guy that told you don't play too much Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, yeah.
He said, oh, don't play too. They was playing Grand Theft Auto in the store.
Uh-huh.
He's like, oh, don't play too much of that. Stay away from that.
Mhm.
So we laughed and he left. But he came back just yesterday and said, I just came to let you guys know that I'm going to be picking up my last check and I'm going to come over here and shop with you guys. And I was like, yeah, your last check was you quitting? You got a new job or something? He's like, no, I'm going back to college. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm going back to college. And he said, it just rolled me so tough that your son is only 13 years old. And he's got his own company. He said, it made me feel like, what am I doing with my life? He said, so he battled. But he's going to be moving back home to Utah with his mother and father. And he's going to enroll into some university back home. And he just came into the store and said that this guy right here, my son, had a major influence in him changing his life. He said before that, he was just at Hooters or spending his money on whatever, you know. So I guess it's a great thing that he's into what he's into, and we're into the same type of ordeal, which is being a positive person and bring the best out of people and still striving to become great people ourselves. That was a long answer, huh?
No, that's fine.
I just wanted, that just happened, that's why.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's how it should be.
But real quick, I think it's great that my son has his own mindset, and God has blessed him with the energy, the mind, the mental capacity to think, to not be a follower, to maintain himself as a young individual that has a say-so and uses his voice in a positive way. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited. I just can't. I might not look it, but I'm excited.
It's great.
Like we go back and forth. Like when the business is on, the business is on. Like, but when the doors are closed and business is off, I'm dad again.
Right.
But like we're here right here talking. Well, he can say whatever he wants to say to me right now, because this is business. This is not personal, Dad. But this is the way I think it should go, and that's what he does. Sometimes he'll be like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. And I'll be like, hold on, who are you talking to? But then I remember the environment we're in.
Right.
This is his company.
Right.
So let me. all right. And a lot of times he's right. So it's not just what I say goes because I'm the dad, and because I taught you. Okay, well, sometimes he teaches me. Just like my dad. My dad's my mentor, and he says to this day, every time he sees me, he learns something. Every time I hear him speak, every time I hear this guy speak, I learn something. I learned that he's paying attention. I learned that he's taking it serious. I learned that he's gonna be a great business guy, a mogul. I know that. So I'm happy.
That's great.
Yeah. Long answers.
No, I mean, I
gotta know how to get that off in like 30 seconds. 30-second elevator pitch. How do you feel? Thank you. Next question. I don't know how yet.
Yeah, I understand that. But I love the fact that you give your son that respect, and you give him that room to be the businessman that he is.
Yeah.
Because there could be other father-son relationships, and there could be some jealousy, or there could be some, something where instead of giving them the floor, sometimes people, because they're young, they'll just shut them down.
So right.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mom said that about us about a couple weeks ago. She said that I admire how you are with your children because you want them to become great.
Right.
I said if I become a multi-millionaire, I want him to become a multi-billionaire.
Right.
So his children can become multi-trillionaires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you want them to be better.
I want them to be better and better and better every generation.
Right.
Like I might be good with just this amount of millions or this amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but his mindset might not be.
Right.
Like, this guy's not even 16 years old. 3 years before 16, he's already talking about he want a Lamborghini Gallardo. Oh no, Dad, I want that Aventador now. He's already.
But the great thing about it is he's willing to work for it.
His
he
hustle,
wants those things, but he also wants to work for it.
His hustle and his grind his work ethic is ridiculous.
Great.
And I mean that in like an unbelievable way. Like, you wouldn't be sitting here talking to me if his grind didn't match my grind. Because I work hard and I work. We talking about do this, I do this. And I could look over him at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, "All right, Dad, what's up?" Like, "Okay, what's up, Dad? What's up?" We've literally been. Am I right? We've literally been there at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, "Oh my God!" And I say, "Man, what's up? Why you not asleep?" He's like, "Oh, Dad, ain't no school tomorrow. What's up?" And that makes me okay.
Right.
Okay, we working. Okay, we working. And now we just, the creative juices just back and forth, and it gets so exciting.
Right.
Like, there's no other feeling.
So would you say this is a partnership?
Definitely. He's my boss, and I'm his partner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no JYoungin without him. There's no, well, until he's 18, 19, 20, 21, he has had an adult to go talk on his behalf in places that he can't.
Right.
But in a minute, he's being molded so tough that I want him to be able to sit down with the most shrewd businessman and tell him, "Look here, this is what I want. If you guys can't make this happen, then we'll just go elsewhere. Or I'll just use my own money."
Right.
That's where I want him. I want him doing those type of things at 15, 16. If we can get it at 14, I want that.
On the right track,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
So that's this is my son, this is my baby, but I work for him. That's hands down.
So have you fully dedicated yourself to this business? Is this what you like? Is this where you are most of the
This
time?
is all I do.
That's good.
Life.
The life. The life. This is it. This is it because this has to build so it can take care of something else.
Right.
Like after this, like we're working on what we have the shop now.
Right.
We just renewed our lease. We're going on 3 years now,
Okay. Cool.
and now we're in the process of buying our own manufacturing company. So the manufacturing company that we want to buy has already been around for 25 years.
Mhm.
They already make X amount of dollars a year, right?
Right.
They make good money a year.
Mhm.
So we buy that company. Now we have that income coming in. We can go bigger with this.
Right.
Plus, we could do all of our own manufacturing in-house. Like that same company did these lettermans.
Mhm.
We've already been working with them. So why not just slide in and take over?
So if you were to when you get that manufacturing company, is it going to be just you doing things for the JYoungin store? Or are you going to be doing things for
Everyone.
everywhere that it's already been
Yes.
given
Because
business
people
to?
know where it's located. People know what they do. So we don't have to change it up because we don't want to lose customers.
Right.
But still keep them and do everyone, including JYoungin.
Right. That's great.
The guy.
Yeah. So
She said, yeah.
so how much has Jeremiah? How much has your dad inspired you?
A lot. Every day he inspires me to this day. I admire him for everything, just for taking the time to teach me how to run a business and how to get on that business level and then get off and then put it right back on. I just really admire my dad for teaching me that and taking the time to. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it. So, you spoke about the manufacturing company and about making the JYoungin brand bigger. What else do you want to do in life? Like,
Yeah, we're also working on our animation of our characters right now.
okay.
Yeah, I would like to have a major movie deal
Ooh,
working in the future, so that would be awesome.
that's really cool. So, is this one of the animated
Characters, yes, this is main character.
That's the main character.
What is this JYoungin? Or
Yes.
So you were saying that the JYoungin name came from J being the first letter of your name, Jeremiah, and
Yes.
then Youngin is something that your grandmother would call you. Has that become like your nickname, or was that like you came up with the JYoungin name
Mhm.
for the brand?
Yes.
Before that, was anyone calling you that?
Yes.
Yeah, they were calling you that.
Yeah. And before I wanted to come up with the brand JYoungin, I just told my dad, put my name on a t-shirt, which was Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So I
didn't really, yeah, but I didn't really think it was catchy.
Yeah.
So I came up with the name JYoungin, and I told my dad, and he thought that was better. I could say. I don't think he was really feeling Jeremiah.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I'm gonna go shop at Jeremiah.
Right.
Like Jeremiah's store, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I came up with the name JYoungin.
Okay. I like it. It's
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as far as like how you were saying he has inspired people, like already you getting testimonies from some of your customers, and I learned about the awards that you give out. Will you tell me about those awards?
Yes, I have my own rewards program that I started back in 2009, and I've rewarded 1,500 students from 2009 to 2014, from kids coming into my store, college students, adults coming to my store, schools, and stuff like that. And a lot of my friends come up to me and thank me every day just for rewarding them because they have that positive feel and motivation to get that extra grade up for their parents and stuff like that. So it feels good to be rewarding my friends and rewarding people for their academic achievements.
And so how does that work? How do you know who's eligible for the reward, or what makes somebody eligible for the reward? Like,
Well, you don't have to be eligible, I would say, but just giving your all, you just don't give up. Like, one thing we do is when they bring in the report cards that they have, A's or B's and perfect attendance and stuff like that.
okay. So So that's cool. It encourages people to do better.
Yeah.
And it's really good for someone that's young to do that for their peers.
Right.
So that's really good to hear. And let's see, what type of advice would you give to, I would say a young person, but you inspire any age. So what type of advice would you give to someone that they have dreams that they want to fulfill and they're trying to figure out where to begin? Like, what would
I would
you
just
say?
say, hey, keep trying. If you mess up, don't give up, because you could give up one day and the next day you never would have known what you could have accomplished.
Right.
Like, that's what me, when my dad pushed me off to the side, I didn't give up. I went right back to him like, Dad, where's my company? I was so determined that I was gonna get my company, so I kept going right back to him. I didn't let him put me down. So that's my advice to people. Don't let people put you down, because there are gonna be people in the world that would do that because they're jealous of your success. And And just don't talk about it, be about it.
Right.
What? See, I'm a little. You know, this dude is a trip to me. You know what I mean? Like, this is my baby right here, but I groom him to be so professional.
Right.
To the point that when he says something that blow my mind, I revert back to the hood. You know. So I'm teaching him to be like me, but don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can have fun. We just have we have fun.
Right.
And this doesn't feel like work to me. To me, this don't feel like work.
It's fun.
It's frustrating sometimes when you got to meet deadlines and obligations, and you got bills you got to pay, overhead, rent, manufacturing. Like, it's tough when you got 23 bills that's due out of 30 days of the month. It seems like we're paying bills every single day. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's the 23rd. Yesterday was the 23rd. It's already the 31st. We start all over again. So we get that week gap that we make sales and we get back up. You know what I mean? And the brand is still growing. So, I mean, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, we didn't come into this with $200,000. We didn't come into this with $2 million. We came into this with $500 to my name.
Wow.
I promise you, I have $500 to my name. And when he showed me that book, my mind just started racing. Okay, hold on. He was like, hey, I'm like, hold on, wait, not yet. Hold on, wait. I know he was like, wait a minute, this is my idea. You know, but I seen it. I seen where he was going.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, yeah, so what was you telling me about your company again? You know what I mean? It was like one of those where he was like, yeah, Dad, and this is where I want to go, and this is what we want to do.
And how was that process, starting from $500? You said that you guys have had the store for 3 years?
Almost 3 years.
And how long?
We're going on 3 years. We just hit, June 1st was 2-year mark.
Okay.
So now we're going, we're like 2 years and a couple days.
And how long?
Wait, it's not June 1st yet.
No.
June 1st will be 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even.
Okay.
And then we're going into our 3rd year.
Okay.
See, I'm so ahead of myself. I'm thinking it's already June 17th or something. I'm ready for Ted to be here. That's why. And I'm so excited to get to Ted because I don't know what his speech is about.
Oh.
I backed off.
Okay.
We did the skeleton together. We did a few sentences and a few paragraphs together. And
Practice a little bit
together, and then I left him on his own because I'm too hard. Like, he's like, you know, I want him to be like perfection. You know, everybody's like, oh, that's good. I'm like, good ain't good enough. Oh, that's great. Yeah, great ain't great enough. I need perfection. And I knew I was being a little too hard, so I just backed off. But when I backed off, the good thing in it is that the people from TED, they started giving him vocal coaching. They started Skyping him back and forth 2 and 3 times a week now. So they've done and they're doing all the things that I would have been doing, but I didn't want to turn it to Joe Jackson.
So it's like they knew that he was backing away, because right when he said, okay, I'm going to let your mom and your PR work with you.
Like the next day.
Yeah, all the tech.
Jeremiah. They've been going back and forth every single day. And the only thing that I hear them say is, oh my God, he is so amazing. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. This is gonna be one of the biggest. Like I'm looking at him, say it on Skype, like, oh, really? Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it. I can't wait to hear it. But they don't understand why I'm saying that. They think I know what he's gonna say.
Right.
So when I say, oh yeah, cool, I'm looking at the Skype. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hear it. They're like, huh? But I don't know what he's gonna say.
Right.
So
It'll be a total surprise.
this is on him. I want the impact of everybody.
You want to feel.
I want to look around and like, oh my God, all these people paying attention to my son. I don't know how to be PC yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to just be natural.
Right.
And if it feels good, if it is good, let's do it.
Right.
Like him, he's got that part down already. He knows when to turn it on, when to turn it off. I'm just on all the time.
Right.
That's the difference between 13 and 37. I'm just on. Like, what's up? What we doing? Okay, cool, let's go. He's like, oh, Dad, chill. Sometimes he, right?
So sometimes he keeps.
Sometimes he does tell me, Dad, chill.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I thought we was finna do this. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. So what were you saying? It's a trip how it works. It's a trip how it works.
It sounds like a really beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Like I'm so happy to witness this.
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thank you.
and I really hope that this story will inspire. Like I hope it inspires people in so many different ways. Like with the relationship, parents and their children. That, and also with the dreams, wanting to, fulfill their dreams and aspire to do things, becoming entrepreneurs or whatever it may be. Like, I mean, it's inspiring to me as well. So I really.
Can I say something?
Sure.
The main thing and the main reason why I listen to him, and is, I don't know if my parents ever got this from me, but how can you help somebody get somewhere if you don't know what their interests are? Like if I don't know you're struggling in math, or I don't know you're not that strong in science, how can I help you? I might not know science at all, but I know YouTube. I know we can find something, or we can find somebody, a teacher or a tutor or somebody that might know about chemistry. You know what I mean? Like my daughter, she's what, 4.0? His older sister's 4.0 student since 9th grade. She's going into her senior year now. Some of the stuff she like, oh Dad, hey Dad, do you know the square root of such and such? I'll be like, nope. But I know business math. Hey Dad, did you know that Jupiter and such and such and such and such? Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I heard that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Like she wants to be a forensic scientist.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, but I know, as long as I know you want to be that, I know that you're going to college. I know that we're going to start applying for grants. I don't want no loans because I don't want her to graduate in debt.
Right.
So as long as I know what you kind of like, I can tailor you and I can push you and I can grab resources to help you get there. Now that I know he wants to be a business mogul, he wants to rule the world, now I know, okay, we got some work to do. Because guess what? I too want to rule the world. I too want to be a business mogul. But guess what? If it happens earlier in his life than it did in mine, that's not the concern. The concern is I now know that you want to be a business mogul. And the concern now is I know that my 9-year-old has a knack for architect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my parents did it. Not to knock my parents, I love my parents, but they were young parents when they had me. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom was 15 when she had me. My dad was 17, 18. There were kids having kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I had my daughter when I was 20, which is, a few years off the block, but at the same time in token, I knew early on from my life that I would raise my children with the same principles and standards that my grandmother, my dad drilled work ethic into me. I mean, everybody else was playing video games and Nintendo on Saturdays and Sundays and riding in mini bikes and go-karts. I was going to cut grass. We would cut like 3 and 4 grass or lawns in 103-degree weather. I'm sweating. Oh, Dad, can we just go home now? He like, nope. We gotta get this money. You want to eat tonight, right? So it was kind of like he told me to earn your keep, earn your keep, earn your keep, earn your keep. And I learned how to develop honest hustles and an honest grind. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he's blown away from seeing me instill that same work ethic and that same determination to my kids, but it's just on a business side. It's a little more cleaner.
On the next level.
It's, and My mom gave me a whole lot of love, so I give my children a whole lot of love. My grandma gave me a whole lot of love, so I give it to my kids. Oh, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kiss my dude anytime. I don't kiss him in the mouth. But on the cheek. You know, he be pulling up with his homeboys. I'm like, what's up, bro? What's up, man? You know, what's up, dad? We slap five, high five. All his homeboys want me to be their uncle. And I tell him, like, yo, you need somebody to talk to. You can talk to me, you can talk to him. If you feel like you can't talk to your parents. But the best people to be able to go to is your parents. Like, I can talk to my mom and dad about anything. And that's from 6 years up. But at the same time, I'm talking, I can talk to them about anything. And they showed me a lot of love, taught me God, and helped me develop a relationship with Christ and all that. But they didn't even know what my favorite color was. You dig what I'm saying? So something so simple. You want to go buy me a shirt. You don't even know what color I like. So if you don't know what color shirt I like, how can you buy me the perfect shirt for my birthday? You know what I'm saying? It's more deeper than just, oh, we got you a nice flannel. Oh, you're going to like them. You're going to like those corduroys. Oh, we got you some Nikes. But you don't know what type of Nike, what type of shoe, what type of color shirt, what type of pant do I want.
Right.
But you just got me a gift, and I'm appreciative for it. But to help someone, you have to know more about them. And that's why I take time.
That's
because
beautiful.
guess
I love that.
Guess what? All my homies is gangbang. But I wasn't. I knew them.
Yeah.
I knew all of them. I knew it. I'm 51st of Vermont. Before that, I'm from 17th and Vineyard. I'm from the block. But at the same time, token, I never. See, he not. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He over here in big sweet nose. So you dig what I'm saying? But I mean, but we're trying to get to like Bel Air. We're trying to get to like Newport Beach. We're trying to get to Seal Beach. We're trying to get to Cal State Long Beach area. Or, you know, with a couple $1 million homes. I'm not trying to separate myself, but I'm trying to do well for myself, and I want my children to say, oh, this is our lifestyle, so our kids got to be higher. You got to up the ante every time. So I just say to know how to lead somebody and guide somebody, you really have to know what they kind of like. Like, we know that you like journalism. We know that you like reporting. We know that you like this. So it makes sense for you to come to the interview with us and help us get some shine, and you get some shine, because it makes sense. We work together now. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And that's why I take so much time with all three of my children.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Because I want them to know who I am. Like, I'm the funnest. Am I the funnest dad? We go hard. We have fun. But when it's work time, it's work time. I don't want to see a smile right now. Unless something funny happens, or and we having fun, and we making money, and we having fun. But it's not a joke. This is serious. He knows that. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that.
Well, I love that. I mean, I love the fact that you want to be there for your children and not just be a provider, but be a presence, you know, in their lives.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
That's powerful that you said that.
Because people don't get both sides of it a lot of times. And like you said, you got a lot of love from your parents and all of that, but it wasn't, like you said, learning your interest.
What's my interest?
And that's, you know, when people don't get that from their parents and they seek that in other areas.
They can go wrong. I wanted to be an X-ray technician. You know what I mean? I was going to college for like 2 quarters at El Camino in Torrance, and I had a baby on the way with my daughter. And everybody was like, oh yeah, we're going to help you. And the baby came, and they was like, oh no, you need to get a job. These Pampers cost too much. Similac costs too much. Oh, that baby got the heartburn. You got to go get some Isfizity. You know, you going to have to go get a job. So here I go from thinking everybody going to help me until I finish college and graduate and become an X-ray technician. Now, I get a part-time job. That wasn't enough. Then I got a full-time job. That started messing with school because I'm focusing on my daughter. You know, me and her mom didn't work out, so I'm full-time dad. You dig what I'm saying? Until me and his mom got back together. But it's real right here. You know what I mean? Then I'm working 2 full-time jobs, and my mom was watching my daughter in the middle of the night for me. And when my mom couldn't do it, his mom did it for me. So hats off to my wife, because without her, I wouldn't have had him. It's deep, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Miss Lady. It's deep, right? Like with every struggle, you should be able to learn something out of it. You know what I mean? And I learned like, yo, don't have no kids early in age. You dig what I'm saying? I don't care how much money you got,
Right.
and you can't have kids with the wrong chick or the wrong guy.
Right.
It's both sides. It's both sides.
Yes, it is.
You know, you all in love in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and toward the end, that baby get here. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's another ball game. Now you got 3 mouths to feed. Not just you, not just me, but now we got this guy. And that's when, if it's not money issues, it could be other issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what those issues are.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I'm just all off subject. You can talk to this dude. Because I get to talking. I'll be like, yeah, so guess what? You know.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's natural flowing and
Yeah.
everything. But I mean, like, what more would you want to say? Give you the floor.
If you want to check out my brand, go to www.jyoungin.bigcartel.com. You can hit up my Instagram, JYoungin4kids, JYoungin4kids.
And hit him on his own Instagram too.
Oh yeah, you can.
@IamJYoungin.
Yeah.